What's up, Earthlings? I absolutely love it when flat earthers make claims. I especially love it when they claim that they've debunked something without knowing the full context of what they think they've debunked.
So I've debunked this, I don't know, a year ago.
Yeah. No, you didn't, Chris. So Brian Leakey and any other flat earthers that backed him up when he made this claim, you might want to brace yourself, because this
is really going to hurt.
Pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it.
It all started with a friendly discussion between myself and a few people over in Geo's Earth Awakening server. Over the course of this discussion, we got on the topic of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. I posted a few videos from a channel called Arctic Streams, where the owner of the channel posts videos every other day showing 3-day time lapses, which he's been posting since 2019, some of which clearly show 3 days of continuous sunlight. And you know how these discussions go. We post evidence, research papers, and videos of said phenomena. Flat earthers deny them and call them fake, give us ad hoc explanations of what they think is really going on. You know, the same exchange that we're all accustomed to. During the course of this discussion, Brian Leakey shows up and starts blabbering about how he and Brandon and Ranty and a few others had previously debunked the 24-hour sun video. Specifically the one by Anthony Powell showing the sun being tracked for 24 hours in a circle around the viewer. His claim was that the clouds in the beginning of the video were the same clouds at the end of the video, thus making the entire video fake.
The guy who did the 24-hour Antarctic sun, the ones you see on the internet, it's all that shit's coming from one dude, and we done fucking debunked his shit pretty thoroughly, man. Where y'all have agreed with us on Ranty's channel.
How did you debunk it, Brian?
Dude, he's fucking the cloud at about hour 22. You see the same clouds coming in from the fucking distance, and his main one, and the other one
video.
And the other one, he fucking did a reverse of the. Hold on, we've already done this on Ranty's and Brandon's. Y'all agreed with us. The ballers agreed that they were fucking fakes when we did it. I'm not going through all that again. I'm not going through all that again, bro.
Okay, could you?
Then Rakia shows up and completely ruins the conversation, as he often does, and makes probably one of the dumbest claims I've ever heard. He basically said that because we can't see the sun in the Arctic Stream videos, we can't fully verify that the sun is the source of the light. As if the light could be coming from some other giant unknown light source in the sky.
You can't verify that it's the sun causing the light in the sky.
Followed by more ad hoc explanations of what it could be.
The sun could be energizing the light that's already in my room, but when the sun goes far enough away, the light is
energizing the light.
We have darkness.
What does that
right
mean?
Now,
All right,
I
hang on.
Daylight
Rocket,
in my room without the sun.
And he and Geo trying to attach a claim about the 112 Arctic streams that I never made, rather than address the fact that these particular videos each show multiple days of continuous sunlight.
No, you cannot see the sun for the entire video.
Thank you. We're done with this.
Fantastic.
Now let's address the real issue here. That these videos have more than 24 hours of daylight, literally 3 days of daylight. Can we address that now?
Okay. Now, before we go on to the meat and potatoes of this video, let me go ahead and explain to anyone who's not familiar how 24 hours of sunlight is possible in Antarctica on the globe model. During the winter in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, allowing it to shine on the entirety of the Antarctic continent for about 6 months. The opposite happens in the winter, where the entire continent is in darkness for roughly 6 months. Now, Brian, this part of the video is specifically for you. There's 2 things you need to remember when you make a claim. 1, make sure you thoroughly research the claim you're making. And 2, make sure you back up your claims with evidence, neither of which you did here. Now, had you taken the time and just Googled the name Anthony Powell, who's the author of this footage in question, you would have learned that Mr. Powell is an award-winning filmmaker and photographer who specializes in time-lapse imagery and satellite communications, who worked in Antarctica for over 10 years filming his documentary, Antarctica, A Year on Ice, which is available to watch on Amazon Prime. If you would have done just a little bit more research, you probably would have stumbled upon this video, which is an interview done on a channel called Doc Studios, where Mr. Powell talks specifically about the two 24-hour sun videos and flat earthers' reactions to them. Funny enough, if you go to the description of the original video, Mr. Powell left a nice little challenge for all flat earthers, just in case they still believe the footage to be fake. Also, shout out to Al K, WS, Flirspective, formerly known as Ranty, Clive Wells, and Conspiracy Cats, who were all present in the live stream during the interview. Now let's see what Mr. Anthony Powell had to say.
Maybe we could do this. Maybe we could. And I know on your end you've got some footage, and I believe yours is the footage that was shown in the documentary. I just want to make this clear. People are already talking about the footage that was edited. Is that the footage that's on YouTube that I've got, and the footage that you've got in the documentary?
In the documentary, there's a scene of the 24-hour sunlight that I filmed in McMurdo Station. Yeah,
let's show that while we're talking. So if I bring up your screen, you should be able to push play. Oh, let's just watch this bit, and then we can talk to it.
Check the time. It's just after 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock midnight though.
And you'll notice Observation Hill in the back, left picture of picture there. And there it is in the background,
so
on the right.
All right.
So people were complaining about how the clouds in the start of this shot matched the clouds at the end of the shot. And there's a reason for that, and that's that the original shot ran for a couple of days, but the editor decided he wanted to start with the same imagery in the background to just help give the visual flow. So what we actually did was cut it in the middle, and if you look super closely here, around about when the sun passes behind the light bulb, you see a little crossfade on the clouds in the background. And that's where we've actually joined the two ends of the clip together, and now we're going back around to the start of the clip. So from the point where the sun disappears behind Observation Hill again, we're seeing the same footage that was at the very start.
Right.
So these are the matching clouds here that people were complaining about.
So there is an edit.
Yeah.
There is an edit to that.
There's a cut in the middle, and that was, I didn't even think anything about it at the time, but the editor just said, it would be much better visually if we could start and stop on Observation Hill, because it was a continuous day and a half, and we were only going to show 24 hours. But he said, well, it'd be much better if we start there and just loop the clip in the middle. So I didn't really think anything about it at the time. Just, okay then.
Because you're sane, and you don't think that anyone would ever say you're a shill who has edited this to prove the Earth is not flat.
So as you heard during the video, the part that you claimed was edited, and I'm speaking specifically about the so-called alligator clouds, you called them, wasn't even the beginning of the clip. See, Brian, this is why it's better to go to the source rather than make idle claims without substance. Now let's look at the raw, unedited footage straight from Mr. Powell's camera.
So let's have a look at this. Let us have a look at this. This is the raw footage. Now, I'm going to play it through one time to start with, and then once I play it through, I want to talk to it, and then I'll play it through again. The first time I'm going to play it through, I'm actually going to play it through at, let's make this a maximum screen, at a faster speed so you can see it, just to get through it. So this is the rotation. No edits, no nothing. I will play this through at the slower speed as well, but I'm just showing it to you first of all, so everyone has a very clear understanding of what we're looking at. So if you see already, that's one full rotation and it continues on. Right, so let's have a look at this, shall we? This is what we're going to do. This is what you'll notice. Do you see that around the camera there is a rectangle of rails? Okay, that would be 4 sides. We're going to call this rail here side number 1. All right, so everyone's with me. I don't actually know what this building is, but for me it looks a bit like a gymnasium. So I'm going to call this the gymnasium building, just to give us a reference point. So you've got side number 1 of 4 and a gymnasium. If we move forward, we get to side number 2 coming up here. Side number 2 and the gymnasium over to the left. As we go around, we come to side number 3. So this is the third railing of 4. And then we do a 3/4 rotation. We go around to the back, and this is side number 4. And this will be those clouds you saw that they showed at the start of the documentary footage. And then you can see we come all the way back around again, and we're back to side number 1. So that would be 4 + 1 is 5 sides we've shown. And there's the building that I'm calling the gymnasium. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a gymnasium. So we've done a full rotation. We're back to side number 2. So that means that's 6 sides. And we go one more corner around to side number 7, which is, well, we've actually skipped past that, sorry. We'll go back to that because I don't want people to say. Side number 7 at the end and looks out to sea. So therefore, we've got a rectangle around the camera, 4 sides. Therefore, if we count 7 sides, that's done 1 full rotation plus 3 more. So that's 1 3/4 full rotation. So if you work that into hours, this is a rotation of somewhere between 40 and 43 hours of continuous rotation, of which the sun is seen the whole time. Now, I don't know what you think about that, and I know what you think about this, but as I said to Anthony last night, for me, I kind of feel like the conversation has finished now about 24 hours of sunlight in Antarctica. I think this evidence would stand up in court. And I think that for you to dispute this, Anthony said last night on one of his videos, he's offered to pay for a flat earther to go to Antarctica. Well, I've kind of worded that the wrong way. He's challenged flat earthers to pay their way to Antarctica. If they come back with different footage from the same location, he will reimburse them for their trip. So flat earthers, you have the ability, if you truly believe what you believe, and if you're correct, to get a free trip to Antarctica. I'm based in the South Island of New Zealand. We have a tourism industry that sends people to Antarctica every summer. COVID might be a bit different this year, but you can get a free trip to Antarctica if you're right. And the man who spent 10 years of his life on Antarctica, the man with probably more footage of Antarctica than any private individual on the face of the planet, is wrong.
So now that we have the raw, unedited footage of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica from the source, there should be no question as to its validity. And I'm sure Gio, Rakia, and especially Brian will see this video and be intellectually honest and no longer continue to claim that these 2 videos were somehow faked. But I won't hold my breath. Once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And check out the rest of my videos if you're interested. Also, go on over and check out Doc Studios. The link will be in the description. And as always, peace.
Pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it.